long before D-Day you'd made several attempts to enlist when you were not old enough, is that right?
Yeah. Oh, well, I lived at Colchester, and that was a military town. And it was everybody's, all boys of my age was always joining up. So, you like to be with them, you like to be with your mates, didn't you?
And how old were you when you first tried
17 when I joined up.
Yeah.
Mm.
But you'd tried to when you were as young as 15, is that right?
I think so, yeah, and they turned me down and I was too young,
Mm-hmm.
You could get in the boys' service. That was to be in the band, But I don't think there was a lot of benefit in it. Well, everybody was joining up in them days, unless they had a very special job to do, and then they would be, get exempted, but nearly everybody joined up.
Now tell me about how you served. You've served in the Royal Engineers, is that right?
I was in the Royal Engineers, yeah. I don't know, they just asked me what I did and I told them I was a tractor driver, and they said, well, we've got a job for you. And that was it. So I got sent off to the engineers at Barton Stacey in Hampshire.
What can you tell me about what you remember of the run-up to D-Day? Can you remember where you were and how you knew that?
I think I was still down here in Hampshire, I believe. I forget now. It's a long time ago, isn't it?
Can you remember when you first knew that you were going to be going to France?
Well, we expected that as soon as we joined up, really, because there was, they lost a lot of men in France, and they, there was a taken prisoner when the French packed in.
Can you remember the crossing?
Not a lot about it. I believe I was seasick. I think everybody was.
Were you frightened?
Well, not particularly, no.
Yeah.
Well, I'd been used to a fair bit of the war, living on the Essex coast, with one or two raids, around the Harwich area.
What do you remember of landing at Juno Beach?
All I remember about it really was the coldness of the sea getting wet through. Because you couldn't change your clothes. You just had to keep them on you till they dried out. And it took about 4 or 5 days before you got completely dry again.
And what was your objective? What were your orders as you landed?
I think the main. I was in an airfield construction company, and I think the main thing was to get down an airfield as fast as we could, So we built one just off the beach, a place called Benny-sur-Mer.
What was the scene on that beach as you arrived? Was it chaotic? Were you being fired on?
It was still guns firing around there, but they didn't appear to be all that dangerous. I didn't think they were anyway. I mean...
Did you suffer casualties?
Yeah, we lost a few men. Not many, just a few. But they were all important because, each man had his own job to do. We was an airfield construction company, and each bloke had his own job to do, when he got made, when we was making an airfield. Some only did the main runways, some did the dispersal areas.
Who was Queenie?
A mate of mine, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was killed, wasn't he? Yeah, he was the first one to get killed.
Mm. Yeah. He was a good mate, was he?
Yeah, he was my mate. We always, when we was over here, we always went out together. And when we went over there, I suppose we used to go out together there if we get a chance. Yeah, we was making the airfield, and the site was completely covered with fellas all walking about doing the different jobs. and this aeroplane come down, a Canadian it was, and he'd been shot. His airplane was damaged, and he had to land. And he come down and he went right through the bunch of fellas. See, in them days, if a bloke got killed, you just buried him where he got killed. That was it.
That was the thing.
They was picked up afterwards and put in the cemeteries, like.
So as you came ashore on D-Day, you were wading through deep water to get to the...
Oh yeah, I was
to
up
the
to my
beach.
neck. Had to go through up to my neck in water to get landed.
Your main instruction was to
Took
keep
me
your
about,
tongue dry.
I think it was 3 or 4 days to dry out.
And your main order was to keep your weapon dry, was it?
Well, that was the idea. I mean, a wet rifle wasn't no good to you. It'd blow up in your face.
And what do you remember of coming ashore? I mean, your objective was to start constructing, was it?
No, it just said, get going, and that's it. You didn't have time to think. And I think it was early morning when we landed.
Early morning.
About
was
5 o'clock in the morning.
Was it? Yeah. So.
Good, we'd never been to sleep. Never went to sleep at night.
No, I imagine. Tell them what you told me about the view across the sea when you looked across the sea at all the boats.
Oh, it was a scene that you'd never see before or since. Looked as if you could just walk from one boat to another, right back to England. It was just a massive metal, you know. You could hardly see the water at all. It was blooming. Well, I suppose there was thousands of ships there.
And so you landed about 5 o'clock, you said, in the morning.
Yeah.
Was it light or was it still dark at that?
It was still getting. It was light. Just it got light. Yeah, I don't know what time it got light, but.
Do you remember the moment when it was time to go ashore?
Well, I didn't have much time to think about it. They just said get going, and that's it.
And so there you were in the sea.
Yeah, up
with
to
your
your
rifle.
neck in water, cold blooming water. Wasn't very comfortable, I'll tell you.
And were you?
Your boots splashing out water when you tried to walk.
You feel a bit exposed, eh?
And did you feel that you were in danger at the time? I mean, it must
Oh
have,
yeah, there was danger there, all right.
So there was firing going on
Oh yeah.
as we got near the beach, yeah.
Oh, there was a few of the Germans were still there, like still firing. They was, you know, those that had hid themselves into buildings or hedges or somewhere, and they were still pretty active.
And how long before you managed to start the work that you were sent there to do and start the construction?
Well, I don't know. I suppose we expected to do it straight away. You know, as soon as we got on the shore. Our first job would be to build an airfield. You see.
What kind of equipment did you have to move?
I had
ashore?
a what they call a D8 tractor. That was a big track. That was the biggest tractor they had. You know, crawler tractors, like, you know.
How do you get that ashore?
And
How do you get something like that onto land?
well, you just had to. You had these barges that used to drop the end down, and you used to run down into the water up to your neck. And just hope the best that you could make it to the dry part.
When you look back today at what you did then, I mean, does it seem a very brave thing
Well, I
to
don't
do?
think we were anything brave. You just had to do it. They tell you what you got to do, and that's it. If you didn't do it, well, that was just hard luck. You might have got shot or.
Did you then move eastwards with the advancing forces, building roads and that?
We
kind of
were
thing?
just. I think we spent 2 or 3 days round the beach area, like, before they moved in, because Caen was the first town they taken. Wasn't it? We was on the when we got the all clear, like it was all right to go into the town. That was it. But it wasn't nothing very exciting about Cairn or anything.
What do you think you'll be thinking about when you go back there?
Thinking how lucky I was. There was a lot of poor buggers who weren't so lucky.
Yeah. Do you think about that a lot? Because obviously you've had 70 years since then, and
Yeah.
people, not everybody was so lucky.
I think anybody who got out of it was lucky.
Had you lost a few friends by the time the...
Yeah, we lost. I forget how many we lost. I think we lost about 18 blokes out of our company. Like we won different ways than other. Some got trod on mines and got killed. Others was shot. They used to have a lot of air raids. Like German air used to come down and machine gun the beaches and that when you was there. That's all a long time ago. You forget about it now.